Hi everybody, welcome to week 6 of our EBP class. We are down to our last 3 weeks together, and I really hope that this course has helped you to put together a lot of the skills that you have fine-tuned during your program. Hopefully. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to seeing your week 5 papers and taking a look at those because they really caused you to kind of look at the whole big picture, so I'm looking forward to those. All right, I am still in Hawaii. I'm going to fly home overnight Saturday night, and then we'll be back online on Sunday. It's been a little off and on weather here, but I have had 2 laying out at the beach days, so I'm very happy about that. All right, now on to this week. So our first DQ addresses gaps in the literature, right? So gaps can be positive or negative depending on your goal, right? Depending on if you're looking for something definitive or if you're trying to find a gap and you want to do some research. All right, so I look forward to reading your thoughts about that. The second question deals with statistical and clinical significance. Definitely a big difference. You would like that you could have both, but they're 2 different things, most definitely. And you might remember discussing these during your research class when you were evaluating different articles, qualitative and quantitative research and that sort of thing. So we'll be discussing that a little bit this week. Now, let's dig into this week's assignment. So, throughout this course, you had to define your outcome and in your PICO question and in other documents, and then you had to write a bit about collecting data about that outcome, right? So, Section G is focusing on pulling that whole outcome evaluation piece together, seeing if you got the same outcome or outcomes as the outcome or outcomes that you found in all of your literature studies. Did you get the same results that you were expecting to see that other people got when they used this new practice, right? Okay, so let's briefly review the parts of this assignment. So first, you're describing why you chose your data collection method. And this doesn't need to be real complicated. It just needs to be like straightforward. So why did you decide to measure this? Is it something that already exists? That is a data collection method that you can easily get the data from? Is it that a method did not exist and you had to develop something? So why did you choose this method? Okay. Next, how does that specific data that's collected evaluate how close you got to the results in the literature? How does it do that? Is the exact same data being captured or not? Are you having to interpret data to find out about it? So that's number 2. Number 3, how exactly will the outcomes be measured and evaluated? And why is this a valid, reliable, and applicable method of doing that? Okay, so it's getting a little more specific than number 1. Number 1 was kind of general. Now this is kind of the nitty-gritty, and you need to address why this is a valid, reliable, and applicable method, or why you think it is. And so you might need to pull a couple references in for this method that you chose. Number 4, what will happen or what will be done at the facility if the results don't meet the expectations from the literature? Will the project be bagged? Will changes be made? What happens if it doesn't work? And finally, number 5, implications for practice and future research. So why is this EBP important for practice, for nursing practice? what benefits will hopefully be seen for nursing practice? And then after the results are obtained, do you have any suggestions for future research that could be done in this area? How would you guide future researchers who want to extend this EBP into some research areas? Okay, so just takes a little bit of thinking. Just got to put on kind of your evaluation hats and dig deep into it a little bit of this section. And just remember that you need to stick with the 500 to 750 word limit, right? Because clear, concise, professional, that's our goals with writing. Okay. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about this week in your readings this week was an article about Lehigh Valley Hospital and how they implemented several different types of rounding at their facility. It's, I think it's called Round and Round We Go is the title of the little link to the article in your study materials for this week. So our class question for this week is about rounds. So I'd like you to read through that article. How could you utilize any type of round in your ideal role after graduation, educator, leader, informatics, whatever, to enhance the acceptance of or the use of EBP at a facility? Okay, so how could you utilize any forms of rounding in the role that you would like to be in after graduation at a facility? And the reason I want to discuss this is that in talking about EBP, we've talked a lot about what it takes to be successful and what some of the barriers are. We've talked a lot about leadership support. We've also talked about nurses not having a lot of time at the bedside. And so this class question kind of incorporates a few of those different topics. So that's the class question for this week. I think that's about it. So I am enjoying my time in Hawaii, but I've also enjoyed taking a little bit more time to be able to read your posts a little bit more slowly and hopefully respond to some of them. And so while I'm here, I will be starting to dig in to your week 5 papers. I will probably start with the shorter ones, go all through those, and then work my way to the longer ones. And as usual, I start with the ones that are submitted first and work my way to the ones that are submitted last. And I will try to give you as much feedback as I can because those final projects, the proposal and then the presentation of the proposal are worth a lot of points to this course, so I will try to give you as much feedback as I can. All right, guys, I will see you in the main forum.